Fashion photography is an application that focuses on clothing or accessories. It's quite similar to portraiture, but the clothes are the focus rather than people within the photos, who can almost be considered as tools in order to bring out the desired aspects of the clothing. Sebastian Kim is a Vietnam-born Korean-Chinese photographer raised in Iran and France. He began his career by assisting Richard Avedon, a famous American fashion and portrait photographer, then Steven Meisel. He now has a large number of clients, ranging from Calvin Klein to Vogue. This image is part of an editorial from GQ magazine for August 2016. This image includes a celebrity endorsement and associates the clothing with the celebrity's persona and lifestyle. The application is still fashion photography, as the clothes are being advertised, but people are more likely to encounter this photo through Matt Damon. The smoke acts as negative space within the photo and also helps to create depth and bring focus to the subject. The image itself exudes a sense of mystery and is relevant to the context, as GQ's editorial piece describes Damon by saying, "But for all his familiarity, he's still elusive, which is how he likes it." This then brings out the clothing, as it's associated with this image of mystery. Here is another photo by Sebastian Kim. We know that the application of this image is fashion photography through the context numero of French magazine, as well as the fact that the focus of the image is the woman's clothing and accessories. The model is placed in the center and is using direct address in order to make her look powerful. Fur that's associated with high fashion and luxury is juxtaposed with the junkyard and rundown truck, and doing this gives this fashion trend an alternative representation, giving it a more rough image. The juxtaposition with the metal's flat surface as well as hard lighting highlights the fur's texture. The hard light additionally creates harsh shadows that make this image seem more dramatic, giving it an edge. This in turn gives the image more attitude and associates the clothing with this representation. However, I personally think the shadows took away a bit too much detail, as we can't clearly see the accessories, especially her choker, although the focus of this application should not just be on the clothing, but also on the accessories. Another area I originally wanted to point out was the fact that the truck behind the model messes with the positive and negative space slightly due to the bold orange color leading our eye away from the model. But we can see that there is the truck's window that almost acts as a frame for the model's face and eventually leads our eyes back to the subject of the image. Another photographer I wanted to look at is David Sims. David Sims is a British fashion photographer born in 1966. He has worked with several magazines such as ID, Face, Vogue, and has also created images for Calvin Klein, Balenciaga, and Alexander McQueen. According to the former creative director of Vogue, Grace Coddington, his pictures convey a sort of refined formality.
First question, it's a big question. What makes a great fashion image?
That is a very big question. I can only probably describe it in terms of its ingredients. I think it's got to first of all have attitude, and it's got to speak about style, probably character. I think it's going to talk about whatever the person's wearing, but I think for me that has to come after all those other things.
Here's a photograph taken by David Sims for the August issue of Vogue Paris. This image fits the application of fashion photography, as the main focus is the clothes, and all aspects of the image, whether it's the lighting or the model, are there in order to bring out the clothing. David Sims said one of the most important aspects of fashion photography is attitude. Her blue eyes contrast the rest of the image and therefore draws attention. So the first thing you see is the defiant look and direct address, which helps to create a fierce image. She also dips her chin, making her eye look even bigger, which further emphasizes this effect. The red accents against the black and white further emphasize the bold and fiery look. The hard lines of the shadows, the model's pose, and clothing create this very structured and harsh image, and the framing through the lighting keeps the subject in focus. All these factors are there to help give the clothing a very fierce and striking image. This image was taken for the September issue of Vogue. This once again fits the application of fashion photography, as the main focus of this image is the clothing, and all the other aspects are there to help bring the clothing out. Sims uses contrast in order to bring focus to the dress, using the red couch and shadows. The red couch also brings out details such as the pink hues of the dress. He also uses leading lines, as the lines on the walls converge near the model's face, leading our eyes. Additionally, the change in width from the model's face to the bottom of the dress helps to move the audience's eyes through the image. This image also utilizes the rule of thirds, as the dress is placed on the right, but the model's face is placed in the center, to highlight the balance between power and beauty. This overall creates a soft but powerful image, which then is associated with the clothing. Both photographers use several aspects of photography such as composition, lighting, and color, and combine these in order to create visually amazing images. But at the end of the day, I feel the most important and effective component of the photographs is the attitude, which created a memorable image associated with the clothing.